on at all.
It's an accident.
It's live. It's live.
Oh.
It's always a surprise for you guys, more so than it is for the chat.
What? We're live?
Because we never know how long it takes for it to actually
Well
go
then.
live.
Oh, I guess I could do like a countdown or
So.
something.
No, it's fine.
I know. You just turn it on and then start like waving your hands. We're live. We're live.
I'm on the
Everyone's like, oh my gosh,
Welcome.
hi people.
Oh shoot!
Everyone's like, oh
You
my
guys,
gosh.
today's been a really long day. Today's been a really long day. So,
What did you do? What happened?
Dodger, maybe Dazza, and Dazza, maybe Dodger.
Leave it. Just leave it.
I'm not
Hello
going
guys,
there.
and welcome to
Oh.
Coffee Time.
That's great.
I am not going in there.
Hi.
I'm changing that.
Oh, I
I'm
think this
totally
is like
Australian.
this is gonna be the best podcast ever, guys. I'm telling you. That's just the sign. That's one of the signs.
Lol. Also
Leave
had
it.
some. Leave it. No, I'm not changing that. It's gonna stay there forever. Hi guys.
Hello.
Welcome to MangaPod. I am Erin of HappiLeeErin. Here to be one of your hosts of MangaPod. With me are my wonderful co-hosts. Would you pretty people like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Dr. Dazza, and I'm Australian, and I review anime.
Hi, I'm Dodger. I like coffee. And my cat isn't around at the moment. Sad face.
Oh no,
Oh,
that is mine.
it's okay. Yeah.
I'm Yokorama. I'm like the boring Yokorama that you always see.
No, you're a little different this week. You have
Yeah, this
nice,
time I have the worst lighting in the world. Like
Yes,
You
I'm
are green.
You're nice and neon.
rather green.
very green. Very green tonight. It kind of I guess it's because instead of getting like a wig because it's too expensive to get a green wig, I just turn the whole room.
Your
Cheap
green
out.
hair extends to the entire room. It's like concealed to your head.
It's lights up the whole room.
Your wall looks like it's one of those glow in the dark star stickers that people used to hang on their
Oh
ceiling.
yeah.
Like the
Except
whole
it's
wall?
The whole
The
wall.
whole wall, yeah. Glow in the
I
dark
think that-
paint.
That was like custom installed. You know, you have to like go through many different people and
You
like
could just have
Yeah.
glowing dark painted walls, but no.
No.
that's too
giant,
easy.
giant glow in the dark star. How Yoku does it. By the way, I hope everybody notices Yoku's awesome mic because it's my favorite thing ever.
I just love that you have to hold it.
It's so funny.
I hate that I have to hold it. It's
It makes you look like it seriously makes you look like a crooner from like the 70s, like Frank Sinatra. You got it all. You just have to hold it like
Yes.
yeah, like
Oh.
an old radio.
Oh, now you're a wrestling announcer?
yeah, it's
It's funny how much just spinning it upside down can change everything.
That is the most
Like,
versatile
whoa.
mic I've ever seen.
Right? Yoku is so many people today.
Good work,
Yeah.
Yoku.
I also shave my
It's all the
beard.
people.
That's different.
Do you have a mustache?
I have a very long mustache.
Okay.
Okay, I was
It
wondering.
I was wondering if
I'm
it
gonna
was the
curl it
pixels
later.
Or your face.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There we go, yes. Beautiful.
I'm gonna curl
Oh
it
god,
later.
it's
I'm gonna be
beautiful. It's so
It's so good.
fantastic.
I'll be French very soon.
I love it. I love it so much. Well, this week, if you guys, oh wait, where am I starting? No, okay, if you guys have never joined us for a manga pod before, we usually read part or all of a manga and we get together with friendship to discuss it. And we are going to be super duper in depth with spoilers, so if you have not read the manga, or in this week's case, the manhwa, welcome to Manhwa Pod. If you have
Welcome
not-
to Manhwa Pod.
Manhwa Pod.
MangaPod.
If you guys have not read it, we'll give you a super short Dr. Dazza description that will be spoiler free so you can get a taste of it and then you can go and read it and then come back and watch the VOD of it on my channel. And that's only if you don't want to be spoiled. If you don't give a butts about spoilers, then you're welcome to stay. So, we read chapters 1 through 57. Sorry that got changed up a lot. It was like
Yeah.
1 through 34, and then it was like 1 through 79, and then I was like, I can't do this, and then it became
Never
1
mind.
through 57. Just fine.
Perfect.
What is happening in our what is oh okay. Oh, the dogs might start barking. Okay, we're fine. Oh, nope, they're gone. Okay, Dazza, why don't you start reading Dr. Dazza's description? I'm just gonna go over here.
Oh, okay. Oh, where are my glasses? No!
Hold on, Dazza.
Gosh, Dazza, you need the glasses.
God, Dr. Dazza, you are so unprofessional.
I'm sorry.
Dr. Dazza. You're
So
using
disappointed in you.
Wait.
Gosh.
let the team down. Letting the team down.
Dr. Daz is really losing his touch. It's not the same it used to be. Yes. Wait, this means Dodger. This means you have to do the acting it out with me.
Yeah, that is true.
Yes.
I'm so glad I'm just me.
What do you desire? Fortune, glory, power, revenge, or something that surpasses all others? Whatever you desire, that is here. Tower of God.
That is like.
How'd I do, guys?
You
That's
did-
so
did
beautiful.
fantastic.
That
You did the same.
I think that's
you
best
usually
one.
do.
Best one yet.
Best one yet.
Thank you.
That was just
Thank
beautiful. That touched me a little bit actually.
Right
A little.
here?
Where did it touch you?
Like right here.
Yeah.
Right down.
I didn't know
the
you swung that way, Yoku.
I know you were into towers, Yoku.
Tower sexual.
Hmm.
Next MangaPod fanfiction.
Oh.
Yokorama X Tower.
OTP.
OTP.
I need you guys to read that new one. It's just so
Oh,
good.
God. This is what I
Yeah,
skimmed through.
I'll read.
It's amazing. I always fasten my seatbelt. I do.
Safety first.
Safety first. That's what I
Yeah,
always
Aaron,
say.
that's what Aaron says that all the time.
For you guys who are wondering what we're talking about, there is quite a few MangaPod fanfictions on Tumblr if you search the MangaPod tag, and the latest one so far seems to be very fantastic and off to a very good start.
It is rather fantastic.
It's
We'll
titled.
let you guys
it's
look at
titled
that.
as Dodger and the Magical Coffee Beans. So let you decide if you want to read it or not.
My characterization is pretty much spot on.
It is. It's
Oh.
true.
Yeah.
Especially the fact that you're drinking like Arabian coffee. It's all you ever drink.
And
Anything less is below
coffee
you.
from a different country every day, guys. Only exotic.
Anyway, that is a spoiler-free, as MangaPod this week is going to get. That's harder to say. MangaPod.
Keep it up.
MangaPod.
MangaPod.
You can do it.
MangaPod is going to get this week. So if you do not want to be spoiled, go ahead and leave your pretty faces and go. Don't leave your faces, just go. We love you. I'm never
Your
gonna.
face is behind.
I'm never gonna get a good way to say that, but it's just it's gonna be spoilers. So
Just stick around. It's fine.
yeah, but we also love having you here, and you can join in the awesome chat that is moderated, I think, only by Ian right now, but he is awesome and able to
Ian, yeah.
get through. So
Ian.
yeah, I think David just got home, so he might be joining, but I don't know what.
David.
David. Yeah. So let's begin by talking. Let's start how we usually do. What were your guys' expectations before you started reading?
I had no expectations of what this was at all because the title itself made me think of Magi because they go into like dungeons and do things, and I was like, oh, is it going to be another thing where they go into random dungeons and like, but it's one thing and it's a tower. So and I knew that it was a webcomic as well, so I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about the art, which I wasn't super into the art at first, but I really like it now, and I enjoyed it a lot. So
Awesome. Dodger, Yokorama?
Well, I heard it was about towers and about games and stuff. So I was thinking along the lines of Sword Art Online kind of style in terms of plot. Thankfully, it's not that way. But like Dazza said, the art, of course, was a little bit. It was a little bit hard to get into to start off with, but as soon as you got over the curve, it was like this is actually really nice and clean. It's different, but it's nice and clean. And the format threw me off as well because I'm used to reading manga, which is the other way, and then the manhwa is the normal English way
It's also
to read it.
the pages are also a lot longer.
just like
Yes.
I think I read the first like 5 chapters right to left, actually.
really.
I was
I
so
did
confused.
so. And then I was like, this isn't making sense. What's going on?
It's like, why are they responding before they're asking questions? I don't understand.
It's kind of
Real
embarrassing.
psychic.
For some reason, I read it the right way right off the bat, and I have no idea why that is.
Maybe because it was colored and it kind of reminded you of a comic book. American
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Strange. Maybe also because I knew it was a webcomic.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
I somehow avoided that problem, though.
You're the only one.
Yeah.
But yeah, my expectations. Well, out of all of us, I think I was the only one that was kind of against reading it because it was the way it was formatted so weirdly, like the whole like long pages. Like it said it was 6 pages long, but it had like super long ones, and like I'm not a biggest fan of the whole webcomic thing because they're usually like the art kind of sucky for this, and this as well was kind of bad. It did take some time to get used to, but I don't think I got used to it completely yet. I think the only thing that I liked about the art was how Rock was drawn.
Oh god.
Like that, like
Oh my
he had the most
God.
epic like panels and stuff, and I couldn't understand who's a boy, who's a girl for a while as well because it was just so confusing.
Like Ho? I thought
Yeah.
I thought
it
that
was
was
a
a
girl
girl.
the whole damn
Okay.
time.
Thank
Until
God.
after, until after he died.
No, it's
Until
a
after
boy.
he died.
It was a dude. What?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
the director.
They
that
never
was a
used a
girl.
pronoun until Ho was already dead.
Yeah.
And then I was
Yeah.
I promised him I'd be brave with him.
I was like, what do you mean him? The
Yeah, so
first few times
that
I
was
was
a little bit of a downside.
the first few times I was like, you know, they should really like spell check this before they upload it because they keep calling this girl a guy. They keep leaving off that S, and then I was like, wait. It blew my mind. Yeah.
There were
That was
lots
very
of
annoying.
weird grammar problems with the translations,
Yeah.
but that was okay.
It wasn't
It was-
too. It wasn't.
it was understandable.
Enough to like, except for the guy girl, but that wasn't their fault. Like, except for that, like, it didn't. Wasn't any that took me out of the story. I don't think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never read a manhwa before this one, and I didn't really know what to expect from it being a manhwa. I don't think this is like the best manhwa to look at if you're reading a manhwa for the first time. At least that's what I've read online because it is a web comic, and you should like start off with something that's actually like a official comic.
It's
So
like reading One Punch Man as your first manga. You don't do
yeah,
that.
so it's kind of
Yeah.
weird. It was kind of weird, but it was enjoyable. It was recommended so much. We got
Lots of
every time we
requests.
upload a MangaPod, we'd get dozens of recommendations. Oh, read Tower of God. Tower of God is the best thing ever. And I went in and thinking it was going to be really awesome. I was a bit disappointed, but at the same time, it was enjoyable. Like I could read it. I could marathon it because I read it in like one sitting. So it was really easy to marathon, and the chapters were not short. Liars.
Liars.
I mean, it's easy to think that because,
Yeah.
like you were saying, it'll say, "Oh, one chapter is 6 pages," but the length of the pages turns it into basically a normal chapter.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So yeah, liars.
I'm pretty much exactly how all of I agree with all of you. Like I I had no idea what to expect. All I knew is that people had recommended it every single MangaPod and like tweets all the time. I was like, okay, we obviously need to read this one because everybody is asking for it. And so I went in and like I also had a lot of people along with that being like, it's the best. It is the best manhwa ever. It's the best one. And I was like, okay, so my expectations were very high. I'm not going to say it did not meet my expectations, but I still liked it. I still really enjoyed it, like what Yokorama was saying. And I also, there were a lot of times where I was thinking about Magi, like you were saying, and like there were times where like that same kind of feeling popped up when I was reading it. It was that same kind of feeling I had when I was reading Magi. So like I definitely saw like correlations, but like going into it, I had no idea what to expect except that everybody really, really enjoyed it. So I didn't really even know like what it was about or anything. From the description, it's a very, if you think about it, very vague description in a lot of ways.
It was an epic. It's an epic.
Yeah.
This one right here, that one. So I didn't no idea what to expect, but
From reading the description, I thought it was like One Piece because it's like fame, wealth, power. That's how every One Piece episode starts. Like that's kind of.
I mean, we haven't gotten far enough yet where we know what the rest of the tower is like.
exactly.
I mean, we're still in their training. Are we worthy to go on in the tower phase?
We're on the second floor. They're saying like
know.
first 40 floors is like for little pussies, and it gets crazy strong after floor 40. So like, how big is the tower? We have no idea what the hell is the tower. What is the tower? So it's kind of.
I have no idea.
It's a metaphor in your mind.
Oh, it's all just gonna be somebody's dream at the end.
But Bam also doesn't really know anything about the tower, so in a way, we're on the same level as Bam in terms of what we know. And I kind of like that.
I really like that because you get so often where you have a character that's used as a medium for the audience, but with him, it's done so well that you believe he doesn't have any idea what's going on, because a lot of time the characters that are used as mediums, you're like, you should know what's going on. Why are you so confused and asking all of these questions? Whereas Bam, like, hey, he lived in isolation like his entire life. He doesn't have any memory other than that, and so it's like obvious that he would not understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So it felt very natural. The way
I guess that's cool, but the thing is, we read 57 chapters, and we have no idea what the hell this tower is. We just know a little glimpse of how this dude, I forget his name, conquered the tower once. Now he gets a bunch of adopted princesses under him, and that's all we know. So it's kind of, I want to know at least how big the tower is. Like how big is the tower?
It's a status thing, right? Like like the people that want to get to the top of the tower and become rankers are people that have some sort of a goal, whether it's to no longer be hungry or to have money or to have power in society. Like it's just a standard symbolic tower story. But I don't know. I really like that Bam wasn't involved in their society at all. So all of these characters were handpicked to do this.
Oh yeah, he was irregular.
And he just forced his way in on accident and is like, whoa, what's going on all up in here? Like, what are we doing? Why is there a rabbit? I think the reason that I was on board with this so quickly is the creature design. Like, even when the humanoid characters were drawn really awkwardly, like, there are some positions that the artist, the manhwaist, I was like, is that, what would we say?
Yeah, what would we call
there are some positions that every time look really awkward. Like, you just can't quite nail it.
Like, what is happening?
Yeah, like somebody's like bending over and they look like they have like a smushed body.
Or when they're like holding their hand out, it's literally just a straight line and they're holding the sword.
I love it. I love
loved
it.
Yeah.
But the creatures have looked really cool the whole time. Yeah. And creatures are like my jam, so.
I love, even when the art was, I was like, this is bothering me, it's really bothering me. They'd bring in a creature, I was like, you are so unique looking. Like, you don't look like things I've seen in any other manga or anime or movie. Like, you're so distinct you. Like, they just looked so different that I think I took to that very quickly. That was like the saving grace of the art for me until it started. That in the close-ups, like, the artist is very good at doing like nose to eye, like this angle close-ups. I noticed that. Very, very good at that.
I like the mouths sometimes too. I think just like faces in general, if it's closer, it looks good. But like sometimes profile shots look real dumb, and
it's just like
it's like everything below.
Hold on.
It's just
I love how the heads will be very awkward compared to the body sometimes. Anyone else notice that? They're like the head.
Yes.
She is very good at this part.
Yeah, is it
but not the rest of the part.
Not the rest of the parts. I don't know if it's he or she.
I did like how like every character though had a unique face, and when it was a close up, you always knew whose face it was, no matter if we hadn't seen them for like 50 chapters, and they're like, oh, this is the girl from the beginning. I remember her because of her face.
Yeah.
Wait, what? I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out if it was a man or a woman that made this. What?
Each character has their own like really good character design face, so we all know who is who. I mean, the body itself, I mean, we've got no idea if it's a guy or girl, but from the face, we all know who is who. And like the princess. The first prince, not which one is it? The actual princess.
Yuri.
With the eye.
Andosi.
Yeah.
Andosi or
She had a kind of similar character design as the first girl that we met. Not the blonde one, but the first girl. She sort of had the same sort of character design.
Yuri or whatever.
Yeah, but they both look so different that you could tell them apart. Especially when they just pan straight to the thing and they're like, oh, we're not going to tell you that we're changing setting at all. We're not going to tell you anything. We're just going to change this character and have a close-up of him. It's like, that's really good.
Yeah, they were very distinguishable.
I also like that they changed like the wardrobe of the characters as well throughout the series. Like they're not wearing the same like thing over and over again. Like sometimes their clothes got ripped or they got like drenched in blood, like Bam's clothes.
Yeah, and they'd be like, "I got your replacement clothes because your clothes are messed up." And you're like, "They were messed up."
Like that's a little bit of attention to detail because some other manga or manhwa artists, I guess, could just like draw the same clothes on him like nothing happened. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Naruto.
I like to think Naruto opens his closet and it's just all the same jumpsuit.
It is.
Jumpsuits all the way along.
I love it.
I think a good example.
I think that happened. Didn't that happen in an episode or something? Yeah. Well,
or at least in a filler episode.
At least in a filler, yeah. This is something I kept wanting to mention from the beginning when Yoku was giving his first reaction thing. It made me so happy, Yoku, when you tweeted that you found it hard to stop reading, because I remember last week how hard we had to fight to get you to want to read this.
Yeah, you're right.
And it made me so giddy. I was
the only one against.
You were so against it too. It was so
Well, I knew that if I would start reading it, I knew that I would like it to some extent because it's so popular. It has such a big fan base. You know? I just didn't want to read it because it was different. I don't like characters.
That's not how you made it sound,
honest,
Yoku.
I was gonna say, at least you're honest. I don't want to read it because it was different.
Look.
Like I said, I read the
zone.
first 5 chapters. I read like the wrong way. Come on, if it was a manga, that wouldn't have happened.
I just wanted to point that out. That made me really happy that you tweeted that.
I think the main thing that saved it for me was Rock. Like every
Rock
time
is the best character.
I was so mad when he was gone for like most of the.
That's because he's a badass and he nailed it and didn't have to do anything for a while.
That transition was really weird, though.
He got pissed off by that. I think that guy was a irregular. That tin can guy that he called him.
He was an irregular, right?
Yeah, he was an irregular.
Yeah. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, so like he got pissed off that he passed, and he probably like pushed it to the limits and like passed as well because he's like, I'm the best. So yeah, Rock was awesome, and like the little like Chibi Rock. Oh yeah, that's so cool.
That's what I was telling Aaron. Yeah, for anybody who's read Full Metal Alchemist, he reminded me so much of like when the mangaka wanted Al to look like he was being really silly. The way that Rock was drawn to look really silly reminded me so much of that, and it made me laugh because Rock at first was so uber serious, and the last few times we've seen him, he's just been doing the weirdest shit.
So
like I just love him.
He cares so much for Bam.
I
Like,
know,
it's crazy.
it's so cute. I love.
He's just my prey. He's just I want him to steal my prey.
I loved his "I'm going to take his banana" line. He's like, "You're missing your banana. That's what you were missing." I was like, "Wow."
But I think he has some of the most epic like panels as well. Like when he's like fighting or like doing some sort of like pose or yelling, going all freaking out. He had some of the most like best looking and most detailed panels, and I thought that was cool because he was my favorite character. So
he also had like the best like funny one-liners. Like I thought his one-liners and his battle cry that one time, it was like Choco Bar or something like that. I was like, what even? This is amazing.
Loves food.
So
I
funny.
love how he calls everyone turtles as well. I think that's really
That
What's
is
up with that?
hilarious.
And then he's like, when they ever do something bad, it's like, oh, you're so soft-shelled.
The
Such a
useless
diss.
turtle. Useless turtle is useless.
It was funny how like he was like, oh, I'm a fisherman. I'm the best fisherman like from where I come from, but then he wasn't put into the fisherman category.
Yeah.
He's like, why am I a spear barrier? What the heck, man? He's all mad about that. I thought that was awesome.
That they didn't explain that a fisherman wasn't what we think of as a fisherman until like way later. So I was like, what?
Yeah. So what is happening?
Okay. I think the characters in general are, I mean, they have those standard weird manga anime eccentricities, like the guy who constantly sleeps and stuff like that. But they also just have a good spread of types of people. Like, the middle-aged woman who was from the slums that wound up being in there, and like, I don't know. I think it's really interesting. I think that it's a good combination of personalities, and I think they're written very well. So I've really enjoyed pretty much everybody. I don't think that there's any character that I've been like, I really hope you don't come back.
Yeah.
There was some characters that I want to see more of, though.
Yeah.
Like that red-haired mask girl. I want to see more of her.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yes.
Too.
At first,
There are lots of really cool female characters in this.
there are. I was thinking
Are you
that
sure?
when I was reading. I was like,
Are you
there's
sure they're not male?
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, I don't know
Well,
for sure.
we don't know, so
The ones that
mean-
we know that are female are
Ho
really
betrayed me.
badass.
we assume.
Yeah. God damn Ho. Silly.
Ho had Inuyasha syndrome. It was just like,
Did anyone else think that the director was a female as well for a
Yes.
while?
No, I did. When they referred to him
Yeah.
as a man in like the second to last chapter that we read, I was like,
I'm like, again?
I know, and now it makes me wonder. Like, I don't know what the translation process for this was like, but it makes me wonder if whoever was translating it was confused about pronouns too, and if we've seen differing pronouns while we've read.
What if
I
Bam
assume-
is
I
a
assume
girl?
it's not like Japan.
I know, I was wondering.
I wondered that
uh,
because
have the
Bam has like
pronouns
the
and stuff.
super long hair, but
Yeah.
wouldn't Black
understandable.
March? Black March would know.
Black March only likes men.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about Black March. That was so funny how that.
I miss Black March.
I know.
The
Where is she?
jumpsuit. Remember the jumpsuit dude when the lizard chick brought him the sword? She's like, oh, like tell it to listen to me. And then
I just got
it
electric.
didn't listen. It's like, wait, you're not a man? That was great.
I loved Sweatsuit Guy when he would just randomly be like, "Should I call you my son now?" I was like,
Don't worry, sweetie. Daddy's here. Everybody's like, what is happening?
"Why are
That
you
guy is so
speaking?"
weird. So weird.
There were
Daddy.
so many moments in the dialogue that I loved where somebody would say something that would typically be considered very epic or sweet or inspiring, and then every other character would make fun of them for what they just said or like outright laugh at them. And I was like, this thing understands. Like,
Yeah.
it kind of made fun of the whole genre, which I loved.
Yeah, because that's exactly what would happen if you like go out in front of everybody, make this like epic speech. Everybody will laugh at you. Nobody's gonna be like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally.
What
We're
I
pumped
really-
up now. No, that doesn't work.
Pump. What I really liked, like what you were saying, is that even though it would make fun of those moments, there was still a lot of like really epic lines that were very feels-inducing and like felt like still moved you, like still had a lot of emotion. Like it wasn't completely void of that. It just used them very well.
Yeah.
I thought, especially like the line that you tweeted the picture of Yoku with
Oh.
the heart goes where the heart lies or whatever.
Yeah.
At that part, I was like, oh,
That was
it
cool.
really-
That was-
I thought
that
it
was
really
really
good.
cool.
It wasn't like a stereotypical line either. Like it was. Just,
It was
so-
placed really well.
Yes.
Like it wasn't just randomly there. Like it was placed really well. So I like that.
yeah. I really liked the dialogue. The dialogue I thought was really well written, even
And
though it
my-
got confusing in a lot of parts. I thought it was very. There'd be times where there was so much of it. That
Yeah, it was a little
was
too much. That's
confusing.
why.
Yeah.
At some parts, like when that sweatsuit's girlfriend, I guess you can call her, the one that was his drinking buddy.
Oh yeah.
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 She had a lot of dialogue towards like the last probably 10 chapters because like
Yeah.
her whole conversation with Ho and stuff like after Ho already died and she was just
Yeah.
sitting there, like there was just so much dialogue that I probably missed some of the stuff. So I don't know, but it was still alright. Like her
Had a lot
speech,
of feelings.
how she
Yeah.
wants to change and everything, and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we were talking about how, for the most part, like we all really like the characters. Who would you say is your favorite after Rack?
Oh.
Because I know everybody's gonna say Rack because he's
Rack
flipping
doesn't count.
amazing.
Because he's the
Because
best.
he's the best. But who would you say is your second favorite?
That's hard. I honestly really love Lizard Girl.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name.
She had the most epic faces. by the way.
Anka?
Anka, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, just like how they established really early on that she had this kind of wickedness inside of her, but she's also they did that with a lot of characters where you'd be like, "Oh, they're powerful and interesting." And then even when you got their backstory, it was like, no, I'm still like kind of a terrible person, but I've made myself into a terrible person. You know, there weren't many stories where you were like, oh, maybe they're not actually all that bad. Pretty much every time I read through a backstory, I was like, no, you're still kind of a horrible person. And I don't know, I like that. That's hard to.
Now that I asked the question, I was like, oh crap. Because it's hard for me.
I don't know what yours would be either.
Because, okay. Oh god, no, what?
Well, my favorite character was the princess. I liked her and her backstory and the proper princess.
A juicy or whatever her name is.
Whatever.
Juicy.
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 Hold on, I've got it up.
Juicy girl? Juicy
It's
princess?
Yeah.
Juicy.
The white one, not the little green
The white one.
Not the green one.
I don't mean to be racist here. Why?
As opposed to the green one, obviously.
I mean, we met a third princess at the very beginning too, so
Yeah.
It was yeah.
you not ask.
Yeah, Juicy. I like her second wardrobe more, by the way.
With her hair up and stuff.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
her hair looks so
definitely.
cute.
I know. I was like, your hair's short, just like mine. Maybe I could do that with my hair. And then I went, oh yeah, this was drawn, and somebody didn't have to put a million bobby pins in that. Hate you.
Hate you. I hate you. Comic book art. Dazza, were you saying what did you like about White Princess?
She was her backstory was very good. The fact that she's a princess makes it even better, and she seems really nice. Most of the time. Most of the time seems really
Except when
nice.
she's trying to kill people.
I was like, did we?
Oh yeah, but they're all trying to kill each
we
other.
read-
She killed
Part of the
all of
story.
her
The only one
foster
not killing each
sisters.
other.
Yeah. Just
like-
so she could eat.
There was like that image of her standing on top of all the bodies of her foster sister, so it's kind of epic,
Sometimes
I
you
guess.
gotta kill. Sometimes you gotta
Yeah.
kill some people.
She wanted to know what's it.
She disabled
what's it like
those
to
two
eat at the head of the
guys. She disabled those two other fishermen guys,
They
so that she.
stepped out the line. It's their own fault.
Yeah, I guess.
She's the
She didn't
princess.
kill
She
him.
has to put her subjects in line. Yeah.
What is the ranker with the dots on his face?
LaRue?
I kind of
Yeah.
love
I
him.
love him.
Lero
I
Ro.
love
Lero
him.
Ro.
I call him
Lero.
Ro. I just call him Ro because
Lero.
it's so much
Ro.
easier. Ro. I love him a lot.
Yeah. I like that he's that character that's in a lot of stuff where he's in a position of power but he's questioning the system. Like I always love that character.
Yep. Yeah. I love that his dots are like it just looks like they took it into paint and just kind of
And just went boop
boop.
boop.
Oh.
Yeah, he's also in a lot of situations, like his reactions to a lot of the things that the director thinks of is like kind of a reaction that you'd expect from somebody. Like what? You're doing that? What? You're sending a ranker to fight these guys? Like he's gonna kill all of them, you know?
Yeah.
Like he had like a more realistic reaction to all these situations, these crazy situations. So it was kind of cool. It's kind of like he was there with you reacting, like, oh, a ranker? Oh,
Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
I loved Hatsu. I really liked him just because I'm always drawn to that like no BS character that only really speaks when he has something to say and also
The
is just
Sasuke's.
the Sasuke's. not the
Sasuke.
little
So
douchebag
Sasuke.
Sasuke that like goes off and
But like
beats
early
dumb.
on in Naruto.
Early
Sasuke.
on,
Yeah.
the good Sasuke before he
Right.
got dummies. But but Hatsu, like, I just really enjoyed his character, and the part where he got betrayed by the two spears, I felt so bad for him.
Oh, I know.
I
He
was
caught
like,
that guy. He
He
caught
did
him.
so good. He was so awesome, and then his friends, or not even friends, they just betrayed him, and then like
Bastards.
that just like reiterated like how serious the manhwa can get, because it's not about being friends, even though like that is an underlying that is
A
a
theme.
theme,
Friendship
but also
over
the fact
everything.
that like everybody, there's people there that want their own agenda, like have their own agenda. And just the
Yeah.
fact that he got betrayed when he'd done all of that just so he could help them, I was like,
Yeah, and I thought that there was a possibility that the hide and seek game was going to be kind of boring and repetitive, like watching two of them. But it was so interesting watching like the first one happen where they were really skilled and actually, you know, almost pulled it off, and everybody
And
like,
Kino's
did their
betrayal
job.
at the end. Kino's betrayal at the end. So good. I didn't expect that. I thought like it was the sleepy guy that went, and then they showed those old part of Kino's plan, and then that part after all this hide and seek when he was talking to Ro, and he pretty much explained his whole process of the plan.
Yeah.
So good.
Like, you
really well.
I loved it. I did not. Yeah, that was something. Leading up to that, there was only like 1 or 2 parts where I did not see coming. That I did not see coming whatsoever. I was like, what? Especially because he before talked so much about how he can't trust anybody, how he doesn't want friends because the only way to get up is to not trust anybody. And the fact that he did such a like thing that could cost him something so big, like could stop his plans. The fact that he betrayed all of that was for a friend. It was really touching. I thought that was a really big step in his character development.
It was to help Bam and Leihal like go up together. That was some good. Because he thought to himself like, "Who's my real team?" You know.
Yeah.
And saw the little picture with like Rock and Bam on it.
I loved that part so much.
So what about would you guys like Kino? Would he be like anywhere near your top list? Because that guy.
Isn't his name Kun?
Yeah,
Kun?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm saying Kino.
I love Kino. I heard that. I was like, I don't think that's right,
Kino.
but you're saying it with such confidence that I feel like it
I
makes
second guessed it too. I was like, wait.
I don't even know why I'm saying Kino. Like I don't even know. That sounds like Maho.
Probably because we were talking about. Oh wait, no, I'm now mixing names together too. You know what? Let's move on.
Don't you think that would be a good name for a Monho character though? That's Kino.
You know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You should write your own manhwa. Kino. Sorry, Kino.
Main character Kino.
Kino. That's all you need.
Perfect.
Nothing else.
Print it.
Kino.
No,
I really like him.
I was gonna say I really like him too.
Personally.
So what was his name again?
Kun.
Kun. I forgot already. I have
Kino.
I have Kino stuck in my head now.
Kino Kun.
Kino Kun.
Why do you like him, Dazza?
Actual Dazza or fake Dazza for the day?
Fake Dazza, but if real Dazza liked him too, I want to hear both your reasonings. I want to hear everybody's reasonings. Let's talk.
I like him because he's the character that... Sorry, Dodger. Just give me a second.
It wasn't such a lag. It wasn't.
It's not my fault.
I like him because he's like the character that doesn't trust anybody and like grew up without friends and blah 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 and he's starting to trust people, and I don't know. I always appreciate really intelligent characters in stories that are mostly based around fighting. Because whenever a character gets a chance to explain a strategy, I'm always like, whoa! That's why Shikamaru is my favorite Naruto character.
Mine too!
Every time he explains
Yeah,
anything, I'm just like, what?
Shikamaru should be the main character.
He is my... Oh, God.
You should marry Tamari, and they should have deadly, brilliant children. That's all I want.
I love you all. Yes. I'm so happy.
I have no idea about Naruto.
Shikamaru is the best. I love him so much. Yes.
Oh, that Hidan and Kakuzu arc. Oh man, so good.
So good. Oh, my favorite. That's my favorite arc.
Oh my god,
so good.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway, yes, smart characters and shows that are, like you said, exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Smart characters that are able to explain such tactics that, like, I would never. I always am so impressed by authors who can do that, because I could never think of something that in depth and that planned out and that smart. Because in order to think that a character did something really smart, like, you have to think about the person who did it, who like wrote that. Yeah. It's just like,
and it's funny
sir,
because it wasn't
the
just
character
a
may be
bit.
ahead, but the author is like 10 steps ahead of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just a little bit of explanation. Like, he went way back before all of this hide and seek stuff. Like, way back. Just when, like, I think when Bam was still, I think, like, he just like recovered from his fatal hit in the face.
Yeah. Fatal in the face.
So,
Fate.
yeah. Yeah. So, that was kind of cool. Like how he went all the way back to like 20 chapters, like 25 chapters, and kind of like put it all together like a puzzle piece, and it fit all together. It wasn't no BS.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't like cut any corners. Like, it was you know.
What
Just all
was
in.
that?
It was.
No corners.
Straight cut.
It's just a
I don't know. I
circle.
think it's like 90 degrees in my room. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like passing out, and I'm drinking hot tea, so I'm.
Why? You could have iced that, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
in
man.
your tree trunk mug.
Yeah, and
Tree
this
trunk
computer
mug.
is like really heating up this part of the room.
Aww. Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coon.
Ah.
Coon Kino. Kino Coon.
Kun.
Great. Smart characters are awesome.
Oh, I didn't look up any. I need to start looking up
Oh.
fanfics again.
Ah.
Oh.
Wait, that's not your job, Dazza.
Oh, well,
That's the
secretly I've been
description.
helping Dodger out with this the whole time.
Dazza, you look like
I read lots
really
of fanfic.
defensive for like a
So-
split second.
So was he the mastermind behind all this this fan fiction?
All of fanfiction.
Of course.
Of course he
Oh.
was. That's why
Obvious.
he always grabs the yaoi.
Where do you think
He's first to grab. Yeah.
MangaPodFanfiction.tumblr.com comes from?
Amazing.
Awesome. There's gotta be some Tower of God fanfiction, I'm sure.
I bet you
Oh,
there is.
It's popular.
Especially with all this gender like
Yes.
fusion.
Talk and I'll find something. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. That's what it was. Oh,
Any other characters we're missing that we want to talk about? Because there's a lot of characters.
What
There's a lot of
do-
kind of like
I want to know more about Sleepy Guy.
I love, yeah, Sleepy Guy.
sleepy
I wanna
guys.
know, like, what's up with him?
Lauren,
Lar.
was it? Lar?
I call him Law, because that's all I can ever remember of his name.
Like
Law.
Law One Piece.
We have Law and we have
Oh.
Kino Kun.
Yeah.
Laurie, something like that.
Lar.
Law. I really want to know more about him just because, like, when he first showed up, I was like, okay, he obviously.
What?
Don't
You
get
have-
spoiled, Dodger.
You have to
You have to-
read that one that made you make that facial expression.
I'm trying to.
Okay, right when Lala showed up, I was like, okay, obviously this is gonna be one of those characters that has super hidden power and just knows when to use it and is very tactical. Like, isn't Russian, just is very careful with it. And then when he actually showed his power, I was like, you are so cool, you're so awesome. But they still don't give him a super backstory yet, so we don't know exactly how he came to have what he does, or like what even. I want to know what he's in the tower for, like what he is trying to get to.
What's his goal?
What's his goal? What do you guys think his goal would be? If you have
To never be disturbed when he's sleeping.
to sleep
Something
for
like that.
eternity.
Yes.
Something like that.
I hope that it's something that silly. I loved in all the shots when they were doing the hide and seek game, and Kun would be talking to everybody, and he would just hold up signs. They're like, "Stop talking! I'm trying to sleep."
Please be
Like,
quiet.
yeah,
Leave me
please be
alone. I'm
quiet.
sleeping.
It's so good. Yeah, I
Yep.
thought at first when they were all in their class for like the wave users or whatever, I thought that what their teacher was going to say was that the reason that he sleeps so much is because he uses his power incorrectly and like exhausts his body or something like that.
That's what I thought. Too.
But then he was just
That would
like,
make
"Oh,
sense.
you're the type of person who can assess it while you're asleep."
Yeah.
And
What?
he's like, "No, I just really like sleeping."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, okay."
I
love
think he's probably one of the most powerful guys. Like, if he actually did stuff, he'd probably be like, I don't know. We only saw him in action like twice, really. Like the first time when he actually shot it, and the second time it was kind of off screen when
When he
What is
helps,
it?
what's his butt
yeah,
up?
Quant?
Coon.
Yeah, he helped
When-
Quant up. What did
Yeah.
you guys think of Quant?
Dude, that guy was pretty cool. That guy
He was
cool.
pretty
swear?
awesome, yeah.
Badass. I liked him a lot.
It's so funny how Coon he used
I
him
don't want to
like
say love.
he manipulated him to use him to be part of the plan as well. That was pretty crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
Like he had no choice, pretty much, Quan, or else his honor would be destroyed if he didn't like take his help.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting how Kun created this elaborate lie too, so that Quant was on the lookout for people being threatened, but didn't know who was behind it or why it was happening, like, necessarily. Yeah. And I also love that when we first meet him, he's just like, he just buys the instant coffee. Like, that's his job. And then they're like, all right, well, he'll just be it in hide and seek. And you're like, all right.
Why?
I guess we'll see how this goes. And it turns out he's just a badass. You're like, oh no.
Way more powerful.
Especially when he gets pissed off. I love watching characters who are super strong get pissed off. It's
and their
so
powers are always like double or triple, and you're like, that's not how it works in real life.
Like, why can't I get more powerful when I'm angry?
Yeah, no joke.
Like during the Crown game, we saw the Lizard Girl like completely wipe the floor with everybody, but against Quan, she's nothing. So
yeah.
But it was kind of cool seeing Haku. Is that his name? Hatsu. It was kind of cool seeing him fighting one-on-one. Of course, Quan, he could have destroyed him like at any moment, but he was still keeping up with him for a short while. At least.
I really enjoyed that
Dodger,
fight.
what's wrong?
What's wrong, Dodger?
Grabbed
I
him.
can't find anything.
Aww. What about the
I can't even
one? Did you type tap? No, you don't want to do that.
I can't
don't wanna
find one of the
spoil yourself.
panties.
Yeah. What?
There's only like a panties one, where Bam has panties on. That's it.
No,
That's it.
no. That can't be it, man. That can't.
No,
be.
that was it. Literally, the story
can't.
was that he was picking up this girl from
It
a hole,
can't be.
but then there was like a beam of light, and her panties transferred to his.
It can't.
That's how.
It can't be. It just can't.
That was it. That was
Dude.
it.
How is there no?
And then the last line of that story is, "Are you a virgin?"
Oh my god.
And I'm just like, what?
What am I doing?
How is there no like Hatsu sweatsuit guy? You would think like those are
Yeah,
always two that get
for
paired.
sure.
You should write fanfics.
I should.
Guy.
Guys, Tower of God Tumblr tag is gonna have all my fan fictions come next week. I'm just gonna go crazy.
Sweatsu Hatsu. That's
Sweatsu
the
Hatsu.
first.
Hatsu. That's definitely their ship name.
And then one just called Ho.
I
That is
loved
the title.
some of the translator notes. Like, the first time that they say ho, they're like, this is a name. By the way, this is a name. Because he's like, are you alright, ho? He's like, this is a name.
Yeah, there was some witty remarks as well. Like when I think when it was Bam when he captured Quan, like with that like freeze technique or whatever, and the translation, and Quan was like, "Who did that?" You know, or whatever, and then like the translation note said like, "It Bam, duh."
guy's right in
Like,
front
The
of
only
you.
guy right there.
it's like duh. He's like the only one there.
I think my favorite translator's note is when the fluffy dude in like the last chapter we read, the fluffy dude was going against the director, and it was like creeper status, major creeper status, creeper status achieved.
As he's like slowly crawling out of the mouth of this weird suit. I was like,
That was the weirdest design for a character though.
I loved the fluffy dude because his horns looked like eyes. Like there would be times where like they looked like the eyes. Maybe that was just me, but I thought.
But
it
then
added
you
a lot
saw
to
the
character.
mouth open a little bit, and there was like green eyes in there, and then you saw a bunch of tons come out of it, and then like some dude climbing out of it. Like what?
That was very creepy.
It was weird.
Oh, there's some fetish somewhere about that.
I loved how something could look very normal or like you wouldn't really care about it, and then the way that it was drawn in the next panel would suddenly make it infinitely creepy. And that was right from the beginning with the rabbit guy.
Yeah.
There would be times when the rabbit was just like smiling and you'd be like, oh, he's smiling, he's having a good day. And then there would be a zoom in on the smile and you'd be like, and now it's creepy.
That's
Creepy
weird.
as crap. Yeah.
Suddenly, I don't ever want to meet this rabbit. Suddenly, this is Donnie
It's too
Darko.
bad. I wanted to see
Oh,
more.
Donnie Darko.
It's too bad we only got to see him in the beginning, man.
They showed like a glimpse of him near the end. I think it was like while they were talking though, so it wasn't actually him. But
They
like
showed
a shadow outline of him.
They showed
like a
him
flashback or something.
in the flashback of the middle-aged woman.
Yeah.
She was talking about somebody coming to grab her from the slums, and it was him.
Is he the guy that grabs people, like brings people into the
No.
tower? Is he the one that does that, like chooses people? I wonder.
I don't know.
I
Or do
assume
they
the
get
tower
into it-
chooses the person.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
So just different
He's-
rankers are told to
Maybe
go.
is he the first floor? So he's the first one.
Yeah,
to
the
test
first floor
people?
manager. Or
No, but
something
he's
like
supposed
that.
to be somebody like very, very high up.
High ranker.
It's kind of weird because he's
All
on
of them
the
are
he's
high.
on the first floor. No, but he's supposed to be like some like whenever you hear his name, people kind of say it with a little bit of fear or like they respect him so much, you know. But he's on the first floor, which is kind of weird.
Mhm.
You know, like he's supposed to be the weakest ranker or whatever he is.
I assume how it worked for him.
But-
He was supposed to be the one that sort of tested the people as they came in. So he's supposed to have some sort of importance because he is the first sort of step into the whole tower, and he's supposed to weed out the really bad people and the people who are just like, "Hey, I accidentally walked
Hey.
in here. What's this?
Hey.
Giant rabbit talking
Girl,
to
am
me."
I in a tower?
Is that a rabbit?
You a
Here's
rabbit?
that rabbit. I'm going
How'd
to
you
kill
get
you.
that jacket?
What? No.
I reckon it's a rabbit.
Missouri's in your blood
Missouri.
now.
It's rubbing
Okay,
off.
it's getting deep. It's getting real deep, Yoku.
Talking about like the flashbacks, what did you guys think of Lizard Girl's backstory? Because that was something I was very interested in, and that was one of the things that I was like, oh, I didn't really see that coming. Like that's not what I expected her backstory to be. What were your guys' thoughts on her?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It's sad. Because now she's like, oh, I hate everything, so I'm going to kill everyone, which is kind of understandable.
She
Her
wants to
fam-
kill all the princesses now. Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, they killed her family.
Mm.
Wouldn't you be a tiny bit pissed off about that?
I mean, technically, the princesses didn't kill her family.
Well,
Yeah.
no.
Like, I
The
understand.
That rule
Rule.
did.
Yeah,
It's
I understand
system.
her wanting to like break down the hierarchy, right?
Yeah.
Be like, these rules are stupid, you know, it ruined my life, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't expect her to be that princess's daughter. When they were like, oh, she's been dead for a long time, I was like, are you just pretending to be her because you knew she was dead?
Yeah, because she had the blade.
Yeah. She has
Mhm.
a, yeah.
Special green blade.
Yeah.
I want to see more of the blades. There's supposed to be 13.
Yeah, where
Yeah, I
are
wanna
the
see more of
rest
them, too.
those?
Black March.
Don't worry,
is
we've got,
pretty-
like, another, what, how many?
Another, like,
how
400
levels to go?
Got a lot of floors to go, guys. It's okay.
So, we'll probably see.
I also loved that. Oh, what is the girl's name that he followed in there that he was looking for?
Lahel.
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 I
Michelle
loved.
Blade
I
hell.
loved that seemed
Hell.
like a thing that was going to last for a really long time, where
Yeah.
where they just weren't interacting and he wasn't actually with her or anything. And then it turned out that pretty early on in the story, they were like, all right, and now her legs are busted and you're going to carry her up the rest of the tower. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, they didn't drag that out.
I was
I like
expecting
that,
for
yeah.
Bam's goal to become like, oh, if she wants to see it, then I will. You know, I want to see it as well. Like I was expecting it to kind of end up that way.
Yeah.
Because his whole goal just to like follow her, that would have been kind of lame. But like since he loves her so much, he wants to get her up there, even if she
Carrying
can't
her
walk.
up there, I was like,
Piggyback ride!
it's so sweet. Yeah. He's getting like friends together, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're never gonna convince anybody to go up there with
And
you."
it's
and
so
I'm
awesome
Like,
how
yes, he
cool-
will.
It's so awesome how Kun is just standing firmly by his side. Remember when the director's like, anybody else has a problem with how the way I picked the people, and Kun
Yeah, and
gets up.
Kun was like,
Yeah,
"Me,
I have
I
a
do."
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because like he passed and everything's fine, but he's like, yeah, I have a problem. You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
come down here, and that's where we ended.
I know.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
I don't know. I will say, like, we were talking about how we're only through, like, the second floor or whatever. When we finished reading, it did not feel like that. Like, it didn't feel like it was being dragged out or in any way.
No.
The pacing of it felt very good
Yeah.
to me. Like, it did not feel like we were still on the second floor. So that makes
But
me
I
really
didn't
excited
I didn't
to read
expect
the
them to
rest.
last like 40 something
I
chapters on
didn't
the second.
either, but I found that I didn't really mind. Like, I thought the story was so well, like,
Wait, aren't they gonna be on the second floor until like chapter 79? Isn't that when they finish the second floor?
I don't know.
Well, we haven't read that far. So.
Yeah, no, but I think that's how it is. Like, is it shows the titles of the chapters. I think it's all the way up to like 79 where they're on the
Oh
floor.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So that's pretty crazy. Like
Jeez, Dodger.
Oh.
80 chapters in, and we're like on the second floor. Nice.
Yeah, but they did a lot of world building.
Oh my gosh, you need to like dip your voice super low when you're speaking to the mic and just say like yes, something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yes, perfect. You understood exactly what I was saying. Yes.
Money. Flip
Yes.
money.
I'm really interested to see where the story is going, and I also really hope they continue like saying other people's backstories because those are very interesting.
Sure, we'll hear more of them. I want to know Rack's backstory.
Yeah.
Remember
He's
how
from
he got
Florida.
turned into a tiny alligator?
Oh my god, the best thing!
I was, Aaron and I were on G-Chat while we were reading, and I was like, oh my god, Aaron, have you read this chapter yet? And she was like, no, I'm working. And I was like, oh god. I just got to the point where he like walked in and he was just like a tiny little alligator, and I was like, what is happening right
And it's
now?
because he talked back to the director, like saying like, "Oh, you little turtle," or. And it's funny because the director was like so much taller than him now, and he was like walking circles around him, saying like, "Oh." You...
I loved when he was like talking to Kun, and you just see him casually like push up the chair, like the stool, and then get on top of it, like while he's talking very seriously. It's just this subtle little attention to detail that was so great. I loved it.
Oh man.
Kun was fantastic.
Kun.
Chibi Kun is adorables.
Me.
I wonder how long Chibi Kun is going to be around.
Not Coon. Rock.
Oh, Chibi Rock.
One of my favorite moments with Chibi Rock was when
Chibi-kun.
it's because of his Chibi Kun. No, but like remember the part when the Coon he went out to talk to Ro to get Lehel or whatever to stay or to move on to the next test, and then he comes back and he's like, Rock is like, why are you so late? Were you taking a poo? And you're like too scared to admit it, yeah. And he's like, no.
You be a man, admit you were pooing.
He's like, no, I was trying to get Lehel, to go to the next test. He's like, and then you took
And they look so excited, and Bam's like, really? And the Rock goes, and then you took a poo?
It was so awesome. So
I loved how much like he was associated with bananas. And how many times he would be doing something really epic or really excited and the background would just be bananas.
that's like it's this thing, bananas.
I want a stuffed like animal of Rock. I really do. I want it to come with a banana.
Go.
I want it to be a thing. It has to be a thing.
They're not real, I don't think.
No, somebody make us
custom
one,
make one.
please. I
Custom
love
make
him.
4. We need 4 of them.
We need 4 of them. Yes, we will shout you out on MangaPod. They'll be behind us.
Order of
forever.
4.
Order.
No.
No,
And we may
nothing.
retweet you. We may.
What? His last name is Wraithrazor? I do not remember that.
Rock
that is the
Wraith-
best last
I know,
name
I remember
ever.
that.
It's amazing.
They did
Rock
mention that. Actually.
Wraithrazor.
Raise.
Rock
Oh my God.
Wraithrazor.
David, I know you're in the chat. I found a name for our future children. Well, one of them.
His middle name would be Wraith Racer. Rock Wraith Racer.
Rock Wraith Razor. Yes. Done.
And then your second one can be Grimjow Jaggerjack.
Yes.
Just the other best name from any manga ever.
That is a really cool name.
David in the chat just goes no.
Grimjow.
Dang
Grimjow.
it. I'm gonna one day convince him. One day I'll convince him to
But
name our
David, you have
baby
to support your
something
wife
weird.
in this decision.
Yeah.
Come on, David. She's gonna carry this babby for so long.
9
The
months at least.
MangaPod supports this decision.
The manga. The MangaPod baby.
MangaPod.
The Manhwa Pod.
ManhwaPod. Manhwa. We are rolling up on an hour here, so how about we give our final thoughts and ratings, my pretty friends?
Dodger, you should go first.
Well, I found it really good.
Mm.
No, it was really good. The art I found was good. The art got better as it went on. I also noticed it started off like then it got really good as it went on. I did notice why it felt weird though. I did notice that. It's because the shading is all different. It's got different.
And it's probably
shading.
because it's colored as well. It's also kind of.
Well, yeah, but if you read like what is it, Dragon Ball Z, but in color, it sort of still feels like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Whereas this is kind of like, oh, it's not shaded shaded differently, which is fine.
Yeah.
And the storyline was very engaging. It like the whole whoa, and you were really in depth. Like I didn't stop reading it for like three hours the entire time I read it. So it was like the entire time. So I'm gonna give it an 8.
Nice.
Yes.
Awesome. I am in complete agreement with you. It wasn't as, I'm trying to think. It wasn't like amazing like I was thinking it was, like everyone was telling me it was. I didn't think it was that level, at least not yet. Like it's totally possible. It has complete potential to become like very, very
mind-blowing.
But I did think that the characters were outstanding and very distinctive, and I really liked the designs of the creatures. I thought those were very unique, and I really, really enjoyed the story once it started going. Like, once I got into it, I got really into it. And I loved just the attention to detail within the plot, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. And so I'm definitely going to give it an 8 as well, because enjoyment level, and I also think that the plot has a lot of potential to be very good, and what I read, I really enjoyed. So.
I would give it an 8 because at first I was thinking maybe I would give it an 8.5, but I think I'll give it an 8 because yeah, the story is interesting and engaging, but it hasn't gotten to the point where nothing so far has happened that's made me go whoa, you know. But yeah. It's been fun, and I love the characters, and the art is progressively getting better, so I can see it. I can see the rating growing very easily.
What was your enjoyment rating, Dazza?
Oh, true. You know, I think that I would give it an 8.5 in enjoyment.
Okay. I see.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think an 8 is a perfect score for this. At least the first 57 chapters. Nice glasses. Yeah, it was really good. It was entertaining. At first, it took me a second to get into it, mainly because I was expecting more from it because it was recommended so much and it was weird. You know, it's different. It's a webcomic. It's a manhwa. You have to read it from left to right, like American comic books and stuff. It took a second. It took a second to get into. But once I got into it, I got attached to some of the characters. The variety of characters is a plus that are actually good, and I want to see more of. Like Erin said, there wasn't a character where I was just like, no, get off the screen. I don't want to read about you. You know, all the characters were somewhat entertaining, some more than others, obviously, but it was very good. So 8, I think, is the score I will go with. And the whole issue with the art, I don't think it really got that much better throughout. Like there might have been a little bit better. I think it's just that I got used to it. Like looking back through like the first few chapters and like the chapter 50s, didn't look much different. Maybe because there was more action scenes and they kind of put a little bit more time into it, you know, because they did a little bit of like blurry motion and stuff. But overall, yeah, it was 8 is a good score. I could see it go up. I could see it go down as well. It's kind of on the part where we stopped, where it needs to make the right decision. It could go down or it could go up. It could just keep dragging and ruin the story, or it could just become awesome. So I'm definitely gonna read more. This is definitely a series I'll continue. Not like Nisekoi or something like that I'll never read again.
Well,
so
we are planning to read more of this. We're working on the schedule right now, but we're planning to read more of this in the coming months. So I think this is the very first time where we have all said the exact same score.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Which means
that's pretty crazy.
8. It's an 8. What's the?
It's a hard 8.
For hard 8. This is all around a hard 8.
Yeah.
There ain't no
the
doubt.
Hardest possible 8.
Yeah.
The hardest 8.
No doubt of that.
and then it can still grow. into a 9 if it gets better.
It's such a hard 8 that it hurts.
Let's move on before this gets too out of hand. Dr. Dazza, will you give us our description for what we are reading next week?
For Psyren. Yoshina Ageha is a high school student who offers to help people with their problems for 10,000 yen. He'll take care of your stalkers, find your lost animal, whatever you want. One day when he's heading home, a nearby payphone rings, and he picks it up. The only thing he hears, however, is his own voice, echoing. After finding a mysterious card with the word Psyren printed on it, his life suddenly changes as he is drawn into a crazy new world.
Wow.
Yes.
What are you guys doing?
What? Dazza? Judgy?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Judgy Jazza?
Have any of you guys read Psyren?
I read the first chapter and I really
haven't read
liked
anything.
it.
I read a bunch of it in college, and I don't remember a dang thing about it. But I loved it. Like, I kept up with it for a really long time, so I'm excited to reread it. Actually,
How much
I've
of
wanted to
Psyren
read
are we
more.
reading?
I believe we were reading chapters 1 through, or no, what am I saying? Volumes 1 through 4, chapters, hold on. What? What are you doing? Okay.
Huh?
Volumes 1 through 4, chapters 1 through 35.
Oh, it's probably gonna be so hard to stop.
It's probably going to be very hard to stop.
I'm telling you.
So,
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for this one. This is like completely the opposite.
I'm
You're
really
gonna
excited.
have to force me not to read it.
Yo, Grandma, stop reading! What are you doing?
No, but I'm saying
We'll hold
like
it down, it's fine.
I have a lot more
alright.
excitement for this one. I've been wanting to read this one for a while, and it's been recommended to me so many times by friends. And I remember when it ended, I read the synopsis, and I was like, "Oh, this looks really cool." And
it's done? It's all over?
Yeah,
Yep.
somebody in the chat was mentioning it got canceled before it could finish.
Yeah.
like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
It's
it was
been a
very
while.
recent.
It's got like 145 chapters though, so.
Yeah, 16 volumes. It's
But
gonna take
it's still
Canceled? It didn't get to just wrap up naturally?
because Shonen Jump manga get canceled quite easily if it doesn't get money. So.
my favorite voice of yours.
Someday I'm gonna make a voice reel, and it's just gonna be that voice over and over and over again.
Can I make it my ringtone?
Yes. Ring, ring! Aaron! Ring, ring!
You should do a custom one for her like that.
Aaron, you got a text message! I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make a voice pack.
Yes. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Yes. Okay. Well, this has been MangaPod.
Oh no.
Thank you all so. Oh wait, no, we need to shout out our stuff so super fast. I'm Erin. I'm HappiLeeErin. I do anime and manga reviews, anime reviews of many different things, manga reviews of Kuroko no Basket weekly chapters, and I also do this MangaPod, which will go up on my channel after it is done. So if you have a friend that missed it, you know where to send them. To me. I also have HappiLeeErin at all of the other social media sites, Crunchyroll, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, My Anime List, all of those things. So that's where you can find me.
Aaron's really
So
good
much,
at branding.
so much info. That's gonna take us
She's
like
a lot
10
better
times
than
longer than her.
The other three of us.
You just have to talk really fast. That's how you do it.
Hi, I'm Dodger. I do gaming news on Press Start to Continue. I also do daily vlogs on Dexterity Bonus. You can also find me on Twitter at DexBonus as well as Tumblr. Is that right?
Yes. You did very well.
Yes.
Okay. I'm Dazza, and I do anime reviews, and I watch episodes of anime, and you get to see my reactions, etc., etc. You can find me at youtube.com/fightingfornippon or youtube.com/Dr. Dazza. Yes? No?
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's
the
better than you.
Dr. Dazza.
The Dr. Dazza. Oh my god.
Close.
The Dr.
It's good.
Dazza. Dang it. But your Twitter is at Dr. Dazza, yes?
Yes.
Yes! Okay. Did it.
Good work. Good work, Dazza.
I wish somebody could say mine, so I don't have to say it. But I'll go.
You can find me
Hi,
at Yokurama
I'm
Game Talk.
Papa.
I don't talk about games.
Yeah, you can find me at Yokurama Game Talk, where I don't talk about games. I only talk about anime. And you can find me in Yokurama News, where I talk about anime and I don't talk about news. And yeah, I just make different kinds of channels and just talk about anime on them.
I like to think
And-
your gaming channel is just anime.
And you can find me on Twitter at Yokurama Talks, where I tweet sometimes. And you can find me on Tumblr, which is just Yokurama. And you can find me on Anime List, my Anime List, where it's also just Yokurama, because I guess we're shouting that out now. And you can find me at Crunchyroll at Yokurama Talks, because Aaron shouted out Crunchyroll. I'm gonna copy her.
Copycat.
Yeah.
Next week
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch Yokorama and Yokorama has
Please
to be
do.
really excited the entire
That'll be so
time.
easy. I'll be like any website on the internet, just type in /HappiLeeErin and you'll find it. That's it.
Well, now I know the next time I'm HappiLeeErin what I'm gonna be saying.
That's it. Oh yeah, and Reddit.com MangaPod. Yeah.
Yes, we have a Reddit MangaPod. Yes.
Guys,
we also have all the episodes on iTunes.
Talk on Reddit.
We
On
like
MangaPod.
watching you guys talk. It's really fun. And all of the episodes are up
Get to
on
laugh
iTunes except for the last one and this one. But other than that, they are all up on iTunes. You can find those by searching MangaPod as well.
Well.
So.
Well.
Okay.
Well.
Thank you guys so very much for joining us for this MangaPod. We really appreciate it. And next week, again, we'll be reading Psyren volumes 1 through 5, chapters 1 through 35. And until then, we will see you guys next week. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.